Pharmacy from the University Science Malaysia, where he had his master's and PhD. Being a natural philosopher, the professor propelled onto the academic career path. His profound scholarly work focused on pharmacy practice, health outcome-based research, medication safety, and health promotion. With an illustrious tutoring career spanning over 2 decades, the professor has been nothing short of an inspiration to us all. With 170 peer-reviewed publications in international journals, about 25 book chapters, and more than 200 research abstracts or poster presentations to his credit. He is the section editor for the new Elsevier published textbook titled Encyclopedia Pharmacy of Practical Clinical Pharmacy. The professor is also the editor of a textbook that is still currently in the writing process titled Health Literacy in Medicines Use and Pharmacy, a Definitive Guide. He has successfully supervised more than 25 MSc and PhD students internationally from Qatar University, University Saints Malaysia, Robert Gordon University, University of Auckland, and Omdurman Islamic University, Sudan. The quintessential scholar is a recipient of numerous accolades, amongst which we have Qatar University Merit Award for Outstanding Faculty, Qatar University Research Excellence Award in Medical, Biomedical, and Health Sciences. In addition, he was the recipient of the Best New Investigator Award during the 14th International Society for Pharmacoeconomics and Outcomes Research in November 2021. Previous posts held by the professor include Central Facilitator for the National Program on Immunization in Nigeria, Lecturer, International Islamic University, Malaysia, Visiting Lecturer, USM, Head of Pharmacy Department at Rashid Shekuni Specialist Hospital, Jigawa State, Nigeria, World Health Organization Lead Consultant for reviewing the health system development for Malaysia, and he was also the coordinator of continuing professional development at the College of Pharmacy from 2017 to 2020. The professor is an ideal icon, a fountain of knowledge, and a paragon of virtue. He is passionate about mentorship and actively motivates everyone to achieve their goal. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I take both personal and official pleasure in presenting to you Professor Ahmed Awaisu.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Prof.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Thank you very much, Pharmacist Safia Shehu, for your very kind introduction. If you ask my humble opinion, you could have summarized my CV in a few lines, maybe in a slide rather than several slides, because I don't feel I deserve such an honor. By all means, I feel really honored. I'm really excited to have been invited by YPS, the young pharmacist scholars based in Nigeria and I think all over the world, from my understanding. And maybe from what I have heard in the introductory presentations overview of YPS achievements from Dr. Ibrahim Jatau from Tasmania, Australia, is that the association has changed its name to Pharmacy Scholars Initiatives. So kindly allow me to also share my slides. I tried my best last night and this morning to put some slides which I would like to share in this presentation. So the icon for slide sharing. So are you able to see my slides?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
It's like it's not under slideshow, is it?
Yeah, you can, yes, you can put it on the slideshow. Sir.
Okay, I'm trying to look for the icon to put it under slideshow. Maybe I have to escape first. Are you able to see it?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet. Share screen.
Yes, we can see it, but
How is it now?
yeah, not yet in slideshow. Yeah, I can see you click in the icon.
I will do that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's in the slideshow.
So the title of my presentation today is Advancing Career in Academia Through Research and Scholarship, Tips for Success from my own personal reflection and experiences. So before I go into that, I would like to give some tribute on felicitation to the young pharmacist scholars. I tried to look into the website of this prestigious association to look into the objectives and the activities of the association. Although I have been updated from the beginning, I have been co-opted in the development of this particular organization. But perhaps I took the pleasure of going to the website of the organization in order to see whether there are changes in terms of its mission and vision. And it says that YPS is a mentorship network providing support, mentoring, resources, training for pharmacists with a keen interest in research and career development. And I think Dr. Ibrahim Jatta already said that. YPS primarily, I think, assists young researchers in conceptualization of research ideas, designing, conducting, and reporting research studies. I would like to take this honor to congratulate YPS on this innovation and on its 4th anniversary. Honestly, if I compare with what we have achieved when we were at the same stage, maybe 24, 23 years ago, I would say that YPS is really amazing, wonderful. I am really amazed. I don't know even how to describe how excited I am with the kind of achievements from YPS over the last 4 or 5 years. Thank you for involving me from day one, and thank you for inviting me today. It's my pleasure today to also recognize the presence of my teacher, Professor Ahmed Tijani Mora. Although Professor Ahmed Tijani Mora is not present, but I would like to share that he was my teacher in Zaria in the 1990s. He was a great teacher. He was a mentor. He was a role model, and we were looking up to him. So today, Professor Mora is the chairman of the Governing Council of Pharmacists Council of Nigeria. And I really had wanted to see him and to meet him and talk after 23 years, the last time that I saw him. It is also my pleasure to recognize the presence of my friend, Professor Philip Adu from Georgia, the United States. I have read his work. I have used a lot of his work in conducting some of my research, in supervising my students. I have given most of his scholarly work as references to my students, but I did not get the pleasure to meet him. It's a pleasure to meet you also. I would like to also thank the organizers. Thank you, Dr. Philip. I would like to thank the organizers, the chairman, the president of YPS, Dr. Jatau, Dr. Abubakar Shaban, all the members of executive and all members of YPS, again for inviting me. So my objectives for today, or my objective, is to raise awareness about what matters in advancing academic pharmacy career from the perspective of teaching, research, and scholarship, but with more focus in terms of issues related to research and scholarship. So here is my agenda. I will start a little bit by giving some insight about my own university and its academic program, especially postgraduate programs, for the benefit of those who will be interested in enrolling in graduate studies, either at my university or any other university. I would like to show a model College of Pharmacy in terms of infrastructure, in terms of facilities, in terms of manpower, and what all universities around the world, colleges of pharmacy should be doing. Then I will move on to talk about the mandates of academic faculty members and research and scholarship in academia. I will talk about what are the core competencies for research, what are the aspects that a good researcher, at least in pharmacy academy, should be competent in. And I will end up my presentation with giving some tips for success from my own personal experiences, from my own reflections, but also when I look at the literature, when I look into the published literature, some of the things that I believe were the roadmaps for success equally were published in the published literature. So we are here. The vision of Qatar University is to be regionally recognized for distinctive excellence in education and research, an institution of choice for students and scholars, and catalyst for sustainable socio-economic development for the country. For the College of Pharmacy here at Qatar University, our mission is to prepare our students to provide optimal pharmaceutical care, advance healthcare outcomes, promote research and scholarly activity, and to serve as a pharmacy resource for the country, for the Middle East region, and for the whole world. And in fact, our vision is to advance healthcare in Qatar and the world through excellence and innovation in pharmacy education, research, and service. So where are we in terms of ranking as Qatar University? So if you look at this, Corelli Simmons, World Ranking of University, an organization that is dedicated to ranking institutions of higher learning globally, has ranked our university as number 224 among all universities in the world. So our ranking is within the first 200 universities in the world. Within the Arab region, again by QS ranking, we are second. In terms of subject ranking in the area of pharmacy and pharmacology, largely contributed by our College of Pharmacy, the ranking of our university is between 250 to 300 globally. These achievements are tremendous, especially if you look at Qatar. It's a very small country. For those of you who are from Kaduna, or those who are from Kano, or those who are from Lagos, you will understand if I say the whole of Qatar, the entire population is 3 million people only. It's no more than 2 local governments in Kano, in Kaduna, or Lagos. So you can understand if a country of 3 million will invest resources that will allow such country to advance and to be among the top 200 universities in the world, compared to our country where we have a population of 200 million. It only tells you how much we need to, our leadership need to wake up towards more investment in education, healthcare, infrastructure, and all other sectors. So this is the building of the College of Pharmacy at Qatar University, where I'm sitting right now in my office. The research facility that we have here, space is over 1,000 square meter research space. We have state-of-the-art facilities, including teaching technologies, smart classrooms, more than 20 smart classrooms, and auditoriums for teaching, ranging from large auditorium that will contain hundreds, thousands of people to the one that can be used for teaching small groups of 20 students. Typical undergraduate class in our College of Pharmacy is around 20 to 30 students. When I started about 11 years ago, the class of students used to be 14 students per class, 18 students, and now we are reaching 30 students per class. This is for undergraduates. For PharmD degree, maybe about 10 to 15 students per class. We have the MSc program and the PhD programs. Each year, we recruit around 10 students on the average in our graduate programs, and I'm going to give more details about our graduate programs. Yeah, so this is the building. This is one of our smart classrooms or auditorium where we teach using modern technology, imputed with Echo 360 technology, where all our lectures we deliver are audio and video recorded, and students who are not able to attend our lecture are still able to go back and be able to watch the lecture. We use Blackboard teaching management software for most of our teaching and also conducting exams. And so all our exams are online. And if today I travel to the US, there is an exam that is conducted, I will be able to grade the exam without having to use paper-based type of traditional way we do in those years. So it's amazing to see the amount of infrastructure and resources that can be invested by small countries. So to talk a little bit again about our academic programs, if I look at the degree programs divided into two undergraduate and graduate or postgraduate academic programs. For the undergraduate academic programs, we have the pre-pharmacy with a duration of 1 to 2 years, where they come out with achievements in general sciences, including physics, chemistry, biochemistry, microbiology, and so on. And then they will enroll into the BSc program, which we call professional years, and we have professional year 1 to professional year 4. So if you add with the pre-pharmacy, it's about 5 or 6 years pharmacy degree program. For those who want to continue from among our graduates who have achieved excellence in their BSc, they can continue into the PharmD program. And after 1 year of full-time, they will get the PharmD qualification, which will allow them to be advanced pharmacy practitioners in the country or elsewhere. We do also have PharmD degree program that is part-time for those who are practitioners in the country. It's about 3 to 5 years in duration. We have MSc degree program as well, about 2 years on the average, and a PhD degree program as well. Our BSc degree program and PharmD degree program are both accredited by the Canadian Council on Accreditation of Pharmacy Programs. So our graduates can go to Canada and go through the licensure like graduates from any other Canadian university, such as University of British Columbia, University of Alberta, University of Toronto, and be able to practice pharmacy in Canada. Okay, so a little bit more details in our undergrad, in terms of our undergraduate curriculum. Not sure the nature of our audience today and how much they will be interested in this information, so I may be skipping some of this. Our postgraduate program goes into split into two broad areas: clinical pharmacy and practice and pharmaceutical sciences. These are the different areas where we do research or research clusters. In the pharmaceutical sciences, you can see that we do research in pharmacogenomics, pharmacology, kinetics, pharmaceutics and drug delivery, up to natural products chemistry, in clinical pharmacy and practice, pharmacoepidemiology, drug use optimization in general, pharmacoeconomics, health outcomes, clinical kinetics, social behavioral aspect of pharmacy and so on. So these are some of our research productivity. Our main area of interest is medication use optimization, outcome-based research, health promotion, and pharmacy education. What major research facilities are available within our institution? We have all state-of-the-art facilities. You can see here we have multiple modern fluorescence microscopes, confocal microscope, flow cytometers, and many other high-tech facilities. That's not my area of research, but I'm talking in general, just as a motivation for our young scholars, especially those who want to invest in going into their graduate studies. State-of-the-art biochemical and molecular technologies. We have pharmaceutics and drug delivery high-tech facility laboratories. We do have also a lot of instrumentation in terms of chemical analysis and pharmacokinetic studies, including LC-MS machines and so on. So that's a little bit about our College of Pharmacy here at Qatar University. So to move into the other aspects of my presentation today, I will begin with looking into the mandate of an academic faculty member. Our main mandates as academics, as we all know, are comprised of these three broad areas, including teaching and learning. We have a mandate in terms of research and scholarship towards generation of new knowledge, towards innovation, and solving issues and problems in the society, in the communities, and most importantly, also professional and community services, where we translate the impact of our teaching and translate the impact of our research into our communities, and we contribute also in professional development of our societies and communities. Okay, so we all know that universities, higher academic institutions, are communities of scholars. So because they are communities of scholars, our main business is scholarship. And over the years, academic institutions consider research to be synonymous to scholarship. However, scholarship encompasses other activities beyond just conducting research. And that is why scholars have started to look into more broad definition of scholarship. So Diamond and colleagues have said that the definition should clearly also include discovery of new knowledge, but it's not only about discovery of new knowledge. The primary definition of scholarship, of course, is discovery of new knowledge, but it has to also encompass other areas, including improvement of ways of doing things, which is the cornerstone of improving clinical practices, as an example. Therefore, when we say scholarship, it should not be misconstrued, and it should not be only understood as conducting research, but there are several other activities, including grantsmanship, winning and obtaining successfully grants for conducting research is part and parcel of scholarship. Participating in professional activities, such as being a reviewer to a particular journal, being an editor to a journal, is part and parcel of scholarship. Presentation of our findings, dissemination of findings of our research activities in conferences, in meetings, in international arena, is all part and parcel of scholarship. So we need to understand. Boyer and colleagues see scholarship from 4 categories. There is scholarship of discovery. Scholarship of discovery translates to traditional research. So basic science research, as an example, that we do in the laboratories is considered to be traditional research. But when you talk about scholarship of application, this is the modern research of translational research is considered to be scholarship of application. Number 3 is scholarship of integration, which connects information across disciplines and fitting one's own research into larger context is also a form of scholarship. And the 4th aspect of scholarship is scholarship of teaching. So studies into student learning and how best to advance this process. So it's not about designing a new course. It's not about designing a new curriculum for teaching students. But when you design a new teaching pedagogy, as an example, and you test the effectiveness of that teaching pedagogy in the context of research, this is considered to be scholarship of teaching. So these are the 4 aspects or 4 categories of scholarship beyond just conducting research in the laboratory. We have to look into these other concepts. So as mentioned by Kehra and colleagues, all aspects of scholarship has these 3 essential components. Innovation, scholarship has to encompass and has to include something that is innovative, has to go through the process of peer review, and lastly, communication. Communication means dissemination of the outcomes of that particular scholarship activity. There is no any credible scholarship that doesn't go through a peer review process. So if you are submitting an application for grant, either intramural or extramural grant, it goes through peer review process. And this is considered to be one of the characteristics or essential components of scholarship. If you submit your paper for publication to a journal, it goes through peer review. If you are a graduate student and you conduct your MSc or PhD thesis or dissertation, it goes through peer review. So there is nothing, or if you, after completing your research, you have made a discovery, cutting edge type of research that produce a product that is to be marketed, and this particular product is to be patented, your patent has to undergo peer review. So these are some of the characteristics of peer review. So why is this important? Why is scholarship important? As faculty members or as young scholars, we must have commitment to our own responsibilities, which we mentioned at the beginning, including teaching and learning, research and scholarship, as well as professional and community services. Now, with exception of faculty members who are exclusively hired, who are exclusively employed for the purpose of teaching and administration, any other faculty member, any other academic should engage in some form of scholarship. This is societal responsibility. Society is investing on us as scholars to come up with innovations, to solve problems for society, to advance knowledge. So career progression, in fact, should require a faculty member to excel within the full spectrum of their academic responsibilities. Societal value of scholarship and research, including but not limited to basic and translational research, cannot, of course, be overemphasized. So why, particularly in pharmacy, scholarship is important? We all know that pharmacy faculty members bring unique experiences and expertise to biomedical challenges. And these challenges are primarily pharmacy focused, for which pharmacy leadership should be expected. As an example, if we are aiming to today in the society, we have many issues with medication safety. Medications associated with high burden of morbidity and mortality as a result of use of medications, or use and misuse of medications. So to develop systems for safer use of medications in society, to improve medication adherence, to improve or optimize medication use in society, to address even social behavioral issues, including medication and drug abuse in our society, which are becoming a big menace in society. We need the leadership of pharmacy in terms of developing novel drugs and drug delivery systems. Today, we are talking about a new disease, COVID-19 pandemic, that has become really notorious over the last 2 years. So we're talking about vaccine development, we're talking about drug development in terms of new antivirals for the treatment of COVID-19 and other medications and pharmaceuticals for the treatment of such conditions. So here is a place where you really need the leadership of pharmacy. You need competent and committed pharmacy researchers to be highly engaged in this and to be serious really in this, so that we show how much pharmacy will contribute to the world in this type of, when the world is going through really hardships and difficult times, socially, economically, and otherwise. So pharmacy, you all will agree with me, is a profession that is grounded in science, research, and scholarship. And these are the fundamentals why scholarship is important. So what are the barriers for scholarship? There are two major barriers to research and scholarship, which we see. One is the issue related to time for conducting the research. We all as academics, and also many of you who could be practitioners who are interested in research, will agree that dedicated time, having the dedicated time, looking into our busy schedules is really challenging. Scholarly activity is a clear component of well-designed annual performance review appraisal. As an example, if I am to do performance review appraisal of members of my department at the end of every year, around 40 to 50% of the expectation of the activities and of the evaluation is based on, during the annual performance review or evaluation, is based on scholarly activities. I look at the number of publications that my faculty members have produced, the quality of those publications. I look at the outlets. I look at the number of research grants, internal, external research grants, how much money they have obtained. I look at the number of conferences they have attended here in the country, outside the country. We look at the number of students they have supervised, undergraduate and postgraduate students. So it's all about, the expectations are all about scholarly activities. We do look also into their teaching activities, into their contribution in service, professional service, and so on. With that in mind, that will mean that the leadership has to look at how much time we have protected, how much time we have dedicated to faculty members or practitioners who are engaged in research and scholarship. So in as much as the expectation is that we evaluate people in terms of research, in terms of their prowess in scholarship and research, there has to be dedicated time that is given. Okay. The second important challenge is in terms of research expertise of many of us, faculty members without substantial training in research and scholarship. Many of us tend to not have the robust knowledge and skills of conducting research, and we are engaged in doing research. Many are employed as junior faculty members or at junior level and have minimal access to successful mentors. These are some of the barriers, some of the challenges associated with scholarship. So in terms of core competencies of research, I think we need to be aware. I need to remind us that there are some important competencies that are really needed if you want to be a great researcher, if you want to be great in terms of your scholarship, in terms of your research, meaning that you need to be competent in these areas, including, but certainly not limited to, literature review and evaluation, ability in hypothesis generation, being competent and skillful in research design and methodology, statistical method and data evaluation, grantsmanship, ability to obtain research grants, preparation and delivery of oral and written scientific information, ethical conduct of research, etc., etc. These are all important competencies that all scholars, all those of us who want to really excel and succeed in academic career, we must be knowledgeable about that, about all of this. I do recognize that not all of us are in the area of clinical and population health research. I'm sure some of us are doing basic science research or basic pharmaceutical research, including pharmacogenetics or pharmacogenomics. Some of us are using animal models in their studies. Some may be using cell cultures in conducting their research. I'm sure some of us are doing omics research, including proteomics, metabolomics, and other omics. While some of us, including myself, are engaged in doing clinical research and population health research. With this in mind, I think it is important, the more we become more robust, the more we improve our skills in areas such as conducting experimental research, observational research studies, epidemiological research, the better we become good researchers, excellent researchers who will excel, who will be able to contribute in clinical pharmacy and also even in pharmaceutical sciences research, including drug delivery, pharmacology, and other relevant areas, including drug discovery, of course. So here I summarize very quickly some of the common research methodologies that are used, particularly for those of us who are in clinical pharmacy and pharmacy practice research. Well, there are many ways you can categorize research methodologies in the area of pharmacy practice and clinical pharmacy. But from the context of quantitative, qualitative, and mixed method research, these are some examples of research methods that we need to be familiar with. We need to learn how to design them robustly in a way that the research that we conduct is impactful and make an impact to the society. Somehow there are some scratches on my slides as if I was using the pointer, but I was not using the pointer. I don't know, somehow. So to summarize, if you are conducting your research using quantitative methodologies, you might be using observational study designs, including but not limited to cohort studies, case control studies, cross-sectional study designs. You may be using, in terms of the research question that you are trying to address, quasi experimental design, non-randomized control study, or you may be in need of using experimental design, where you use designs such as randomized control trials, and of course, newer approaches that we use in the context of pharmacy practice, such as discrete choice experiment, consensus methods such as nominal group approach, Delphi technique, simulated client methods. These are all some examples of quantitative research designs that I use. In terms of qualitative research design, and I believe Professor Philip Adu will go into this, we tend to misuse qualitative research designs, especially that qualitative research design naturally are things that came from sociology, and we adapted this sociology and anthropology concepts into pharmacy. So we are not really experts in this area, and they tend to be misused. Research methodologies, including narrative research, phenomenology, grounded theory, ethnography. What I think we are lacking is in terms of understanding the philosophical paradigms underpinning this type of methodologies. Mostly pharmacists are not really knowledgeable about that, but we still go ahead and conduct qualitative studies. And I would like to emphasize the importance of that. Is why it is important that we really understand why we are using what, when do we use what, and understand the principles underpinning whatever we are using. We cannot be using research methodologies sloppily and think that we can be great scholars. Great scholars are not sloppy scholars. You must be strong in the discipline, in the area which you conduct your research. And we do have also the mixed method research designs, which have around at least 4 typologies, including convergent, parallel design, explanatory, sequential, exploratory, sequential, embedded design, which combine some aspect of qualitative and quantitative approaches together. Well, my aim is not really to talk about these methodologies in greater detail or how they are applied, but I just want to give message that what is worth doing is worth doing well, and that we need to be strong, we need to be robust, we need to excel in whatever we do. We cannot afford to be doing research that is substandard. We cannot afford to be investing and wasting public fund. For example, for me here, when I succeed in getting a grant, $500,000, and I waste $500,000 that could have been used for something important, for doing research that does not add any value to the society. We cannot afford to continue to do that. So I will move on to the last aspect of my presentation. I think I'm running out of time. Because of that, perhaps what I'm going to do, I will not go into details of the tips for success in academic pharmacy. Rather, I will go through the bullets in the next 2 or 3 slides. I will end up my presentation, and I look forward to more future opportunities where I'm going to interact with those who are interested and be able to go into different areas of pharmacy academy. So to begin with, these are from my own personal experiences, my own personal reflections, but also looking into published literature. As I mentioned, many of these have already been said by other scholars. So for me, the starting point for someone who is interested to join academic pharmacy, either as a graduate student or after having make up your mind to join pharmacy academy, is to determine your best fit. And by determining your best fit is what I mean, which of the pharmacy schools that are present or that exist that should I get into. So different pharmacy schools have different facilities, different models, different systems, infrastructure, personnel. You need to take into consideration. And what do they have? What could that particular college of pharmacy or school of pharmacy will offer you as an academic? You want to get into Ahmed Awaisu University, Zaria College of Pharmacy, or you want to get into Bayero University, Kano, Faculty of Pharmacy, you need to understand the value system of that particular school of pharmacy. What do they have? What can they offer? And you need to think that it's a win-win situation, it's a two-way traffic. When you think about what the School of Pharmacy needs to offer me, you must also think about what can I offer? What can I contribute? Do I have some expertise in areas that that particular School of Pharmacy does not have, and I want to contribute that particular expertise? In terms of what the school can offer you, you need to look at who are the faculty members in that particular school. Will you have opportunity to have mentors, especially if you are an early career person, individual who is joining the academia? What type of mentors will I have? Do they have the level of mentorship that I'm looking for? Do they have the facilities, the type of research that I want to invest my career? Identify an academic mentor. So when you decide to venture into academic career, or when you start your career as a new person, think about identifying a mentor. We can never be successful in academic career without having mentorship. And this type of mentorship doesn't necessarily have to be a formal mentorship. Now, many of pharmacy schools around the world, either in North America, in Europe, in the United Kingdom, wherever in the world, they have some sort of mentorship programs. Some of these programs are formal, some are informal. Regardless of whether there is formal mentorship program or not, as an early career academic, as a person who just joined academia, you must think about identifying a mentor, or at least two mentors in your career who will be able to guide you to be successful in your career. There is a lot more to achieve in pharmacy career. There are a lot of opportunities, a lot of challenges and reward in academic career. And without having mentorship and strong mentorship, either formal or informal, you may be lost. You may be making so many mistakes in your career, mistakes that you will maybe regret, why am I in this career, without having those support and mentorship from the beginning. Developing short and long-term career plans is very important. Engaging in collaboration and international networking, and this encompasses collaboration, includes local and international collaboration and networking. Start building your dossier for academic promotion. Now, if you want to be a full professor in academia, you don't wait when the time comes when you are due for promotion to start applying for promotion, to start to learn about the policy and rules for academic promotion in your academic institution. You must start from day one. It's just like any other career. Either you are in clinical practice, when you join clinical practice, or when you join any career, start planning your retirement from day one, from the day that you start your career. Start your savings, all right, for your retirement from day one. Okay. Design your research roadmaps. The areas that you want to do your research has to be planned from the beginning. Look for extramural and intramural funding opportunities. Identify resources for teaching and learning so that you become a great teacher, you become a great researcher. Build your teaching strength. What can I do in terms of professional development to improve my teaching skills, my teaching abilities? Establish your professional network. From today, if you don't have an account on Scopus, if you don't have an account on Google Scholar and ResearchGates, think about establishing your professional network. This is what will make your research visible, increases your visibility, make you well known, gain opportunities by being in those networks. It doesn't mean there are unprofessional networks such as WhatsApp and other unprofessional network, but there are some academic networks that are really, really important that all of us must create account in those networks to increase the visibility of what we do, the great job that we do, to increase even the citation of our work, the quality of our work through these important professional networks. Look for opportunities to supervise both undergraduate and postgraduate studies. Now, the important point that I want to raise here is in terms of outlets for our publication. Now, I've seen that the young pharmacist scholars have tons of publications. I see that Dr. Ibrahim Jatau mentioned young pharmacist scholars have produced around 26 ongoing studies at different stages. Some are under publications, some are ongoing. I would like to add this, that it is important that as much as possible, let us publish our work in high quality journals. It will end up being a waste if we are publishing our important work in journals that are predatory journals, journals of low quality. It is important that you look at the relevance of the journal, you look at the scope of the journal, the impact factor of the journal, the quality of the journal. Look at all the indices of quality before you think about publishing your work there. If you keep on publishing your work on journals of low quality, colleagues, I can tell you that not only that it has impact on the work, but also it has impact on your career, because to succeed and to excel in your career, you need to continue to compete also internationally and be a great scholar that can compete anywhere internationally, means publishing in good quality journal. But the bottom line, again, is not also ability to publish in good quality journals means that you have done a good quality research. If you miss the basis, if the research by itself has a lot of flaws in it, is flawed, either in terms of methodology or writing, so be sure that you cannot get it published in good journals. So like I said, I will not go into the greater details, although I have them in my slides, but I will end up with a conclusion to say that academia provides a tremendous environment for career with opportunities for growth and development. Trust me, there is a lot of reward in academia. Do not always think that scholars, academics, professors are poor. You can be successful in academia. You can get a salary in academia, as an example, that is higher than a federal minister in Nigeria, as an example. I can guarantee you this. So if you invest your time, if you invest your resources, if you are a person of quality, if you are a positive person and who understand really the game, who understand the basis of what should be done, you can be successful. An appropriate balance between teaching, scholarship, service is important for faculty members to have a satisfying, fulfilling career in academia. As faculty members, we should have a strong commitment to our major responsibilities of teaching, research, scholarship, and service. I thank you very much. Taken much more time than allocated to me, but I wish in the future I will get more opportunity to share more of my experiences, to share more in-depth insight into other aspects of scholarship, into other aspects of teaching and learning, other aspects of research, and also service. Thank you again to the organizers. Thank you, Dr. Abubakar Shaban. Thank you to the president, Dr. Ibrahim Jatau, and all members of the executive for giving me the opportunity. So I end my presentation. I don't know how you would like to take it, whether you like to take questions or it is something that will come at the end. Thank you very much again.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Prof. Ahmed Awaisu, for the wonderful presentation. It's indeed a honor for all of us. You know, when professors are talking, you know, if you don't give them a hint, it's difficult for them to stop. They can go on and on for hours because it has been part of them. Yeah, so yeah, thank you very much, Prof, for the wonderful presentation. So we are slightly behind schedule. We are supposed to start with Prof. Adu, but we still want to plead with Prof. Adu that Prof. Itimora is currently attending a program, an official function, but he will just want to say some few words to us before before we move on. So I'm not sure whether Prof. Itimora is still available now.
Yeah, he's around and he's